Hi there, it's Lori at Positive Thanks Living. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Today we're going to make this cascading, well, it could be a journal or a booklet or a pocket. I'm making it from some digitals that I created, and you can get them for free on my website. The link will be below, or you could use whatever you choose. The concept will be the same regardless of what you use. It's 3 pages or 3 pieces of paper, and you can see that I've printed them out from edge to edge. I hope you have that ability. Now I've made it up once already, so this is the second time that I'm doing it. I'm folding that one piece lengthwise. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet, and I'm folding it lengthwise, and I'll be cutting it in half. So essentially you could make this twice out of 3 pieces of paper, or use the other parts for something else. How are you doing? I hope you're well. We're doing okay here. Right now there's some winter weather coming into North Carolina, and we'll see whether I run out of, if the electricity goes away. It often happens, not because of the snow, but because of the ice. So putting those 4 squares onto the white cardstock, and you can see the instructions at the top there on the screen. I'm not so good with measuring numbers wise. I often just sort of take a look at something and imagine how to make it equal. So I tried to give you numbers. I hope they help. Cutting that white piece, folding it the lengthwise, and then into strips, and then into 4 pieces. Yeah. And they were a little bit too long, so I trimmed them by 1/4 of an inch, maybe. You'll see. And I want to have those 4 squares of the tulips and the writing fit onto the white pieces of paper. So you can see how I'm sort of measuring, and I'm clipping the corners because I like rounded corners. Now these are scriptures. They're about love, so you can see that I'm kind of thinking about what the month ahead will be. And there's a tagline that I've put on there about it's time to do good. Now I don't mean to do well, meaning a performance-wise, but rather to be good to each other, to be good to ourselves in ways that matter. And I find scripture a really good rubric to follow. 3 of these are from, actually I think 4 of them are from the Proverbs. And the other one is the commandment that Jesus gave about loving God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and your neighbor as yourself. The idea being that if we all do good from the center of the circle of our home outward, maybe we can make this time period a little bit easier for people. Now I'm trying to measure these so that it will work, and I'll give you numbers again. I hope it helps. It's to create the cascading portion of what we're making. And then in a little bit, once that's finished, I'll use some distress ink just to make the white cardstock less white. I want to thank you for joining me here. I invite you to try and make this also. It's not that hard, not really. As I mentioned, I was wondering what I would be doing this week. I tried many different things. I brought out my watercolor paints, and I was trying to do my own watercolor hearts with not a lot of success. So I defaulted to digitals because they're finished. So I'm not really an artist, but I do enjoy playing. And I may do something with what I've painted this week. You'll have to tune in next week to see what I've done. The weeks of January, I've decided I'm going to explore waterfall or cascading journals and just see what we can do with them. This one is, it could be a journal, but it's also a tag. You'll see in the end the choice I make, as opposed to what I made before this, which was like a journal. And rounding corners again. What we're trying to do is fit those 4 pieces onto the front part, the one with the hearts that we cut in half. And you want them equally on the front. It's difficult to explain, but I think if you, as you watch me do it, you'll get the idea. And here I have this sticky mat. I watched somebody use one of these when they made a card for stenciling with ink. And I thought, oh, that would be so useful. Because usually what I'm doing is chasing a piece of paper around my mat. And this allows the paper to stick, but not stick so well that it damages the paper when it comes off. So I'm using this distress ink, spun sugar I think it is, and I don't know whether you can tell that it is putting down some color, but it is. I think I need one of those re-inker things that has the liquid in it to put more ink into my pad. Yeah, it's on order. It'll come by the end of the month, by the time I'm done doing pink. Yeah. So, do you have plans for this month? What are you going to be crafting? Do you pay attention to Valentine's Day? Is that something you celebrate? My husband and I don't really celebrate Valentine's Day per se. When we met and we went out for 4 years and my husband wanted to propose to me, was supposed to be on Valentine's Day, but he was so ill that he couldn't. So the next week we went away and he proposed then. So we celebrate on the 21st of February instead of the 14th. Yeah. Just a little bit of our story. We've been married 40 years now, so this May it'll be 41, believe it or not. So you see how I'm placing down those 4 cards, being very careful that I don't put them upside down or sideways, that I have the part that is folded under at the top. Soon you'll see how I place it on the heart card. Now this paper is not copy paper, but neither is it really heavy cardstock. It's somewhere in between. My printer likes it, so that's always good, right? I was thinking if someone doesn't have the access to a printer, what I might do is print and cut out 3 or 4 sets, and I'll put it on my Etsy shop. If anybody wants, I'll price it so that it's affordable and covers the postage. But I'll print it out here at my place on this paper, and You can do all the work and then they experience the fun of putting it together, but you'll have what you need, other than scissors and glue. So now watch as it goes on there. I'm trying to decide which one I want first. See how it is a little flap? And it works out that there's just a tiny bit at the top left open, you see? The trick is to place it so that it is in the middle, and then as you bring the next one in, it's exactly flush with the bottom of the little flap thing. Watch. See? Just like that. But you have to make sure that they line up well. I had a little problem there. And to be completely transparent, the end result was a little wonky too. Probably by the time I make 3 or 4 of these, I'll have a rhythm down. So you lift up the second one, put down the third, so it abuts. Yep, just like that. It's not hard. It's just following one after the other. And the fourth one, same theory. I'm using art glitter glue. There is no glitter in that glue. It's just the name of the company. But it's one of my favorites when I'm working, especially when I'm working just with paper. Now, if you would want those little images without anything stated inside them, I could make a digital like that too. Leave a comment below and let me know if you just want one without anything on it. I was thinking perhaps that's something. So you could completely close it through, put glue on all 4 sides, and I'm going to choose to put that one card on the back. And then you'll see what I decide literally in the moment. I hadn't thought of it before then. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm not going to close up all 4 sides. It occurs to me at that moment in time that, it could be. Yeah, you're right. You can write on that side of the paper. You could decorate with these little hearts that I've cut out. They're on that one piece of digital. Now, I could make a journal, or I could close it all the way up, or you can make it a pocket. So I choose to only glue together the 2 sides, making 3 sides a pocket. And you can put something in. And because you have some of the digital left, the paper, you can make a tag. And that's what I do. It's a pretty plain and simple tag, just cutting part of it out. I find a couple of the hearts that I like. And because the back is white, that white almost cardstock, I use a little bit of the distress ink. And I have a little notch there in the back, and there it goes. It can fit in just like so. Nope, I don't like it that way. I like it the other way. You're going to see after I use the distress ink that it goes on the other way. I put it in the other way. Anyhow, let me know if you'd be interested in having those digitals without the scripture on it. I could make up another page. And you'll be able to get them for free on my website. The link will be below where to go. I have a place called Positive Thanks Living I know, surprise, that I write. It's a website that I've been writing on for a number of years. And I can use it double duty, so to speak, to write and to offer some digitals. Yep, there it is. I wish you well. Take care. Next week, we're going to do more in the idea of a cascade or a waterfall something. We'll see you then. Bye for now.